going
Well,
for
it's
right now.
perfect timing because it's time for the main topic of the evening. Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Listen. We know it came out several months ago. We didn't go see it in theaters.
We didn't.
We did,
just saw it
however,
now.
just seen it. I saw it 2 days ago. He watched it last night. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I have no idea how you feel about it, and therefore I'm going to go first. Unsullied. I don't want to know your thoughts right away. I got to tell you, I like this movie a lot. I did not expect to like it as much as I did. It is a very sad movie. There's a lot of dark and somber things that occur in this movie, but there's also a lot of cathartic emotional growth for these characters, for almost all of them. And it was just fun. It was a fun adventure with high stakes for them personally, but not like universe shattering stakes, which again, we just had with The Flash. And it was a big selling point for me. I'm tired of these going to take over the universe type people. I mean, sure, maybe he would have went there eventually, but this guy in particular was just a giant asshole doing giant asshole things in one corner of the universe that just happened to really, really affect one of their teammates. And that's why they had to deal with him. And I thought it was a great movie. It's hard to do sequels because obviously knowledge of the first and second movie is required to go into this and have the same emotional attachments that I did. So therefore, like, saying it's my favorite of the three is almost impossible because without watching the first one, you'd have no idea what the fuck, you wouldn't care about any of these people.
Yeah.
But I thought this was really well done. I really liked it. I cried a bunch because they made a lot of little animals in pain, and that was sad. I thought it was great. That's it. How did you feel about it?
I thought it was very good with some caveats.
Okay.
I think
Caveat me.
Yeah. I think one of the big things is just that, like, everybody was talking about, you know, the rocket flashbacks. And I just like knew what was going to happen by the time before I even hit play. And so that took away from it a little bit. Of course, the scene TM where it happens was like, you know, what's weird is like the one that Rocket had the biggest connection with, Lila, was like the least sad to me. Like the one that hurt me the most was Teefs.
Was the walrus. Because
he didn't even get out. He was in the cage and he was just scared. It was awful. There's just something that's such a fine needle that just splits a nerve in half. There's just something so sad that he didn't even get out of the fucking cage. And he's just like, come back in. He's like begging them to just like be good and get back in the cage so nobody gets hurt. And they all died anyway. I think that I think that the villain was awful. Let me just get the things that I didn't like out of the way. I thought that he was unbearable, overacting, and he did so good in Peacemaker that I was like, what's happening? Like, where is the disconnect? Did he just not have like an understanding of the character, the High Evolutionary? I don't know if that's a comic book character. I don't know if it's a James Gunn creation. I don't know if he acts like that in the comic book. If so, then there should have been some like filter to real life. Every scene he was in, I was like, I cannot wait until you're not on the screen anymore. Even the final showdown with him was like short. It just sort of happened and then it was done. Beyond that, though, I really did like it. And I don't think it was as much of a like, it was just a proper send-off. I think that he did things in a way that were unexpected, especially in this sort of era of like superhero films. Like it ends and they split up. Like it's over, kind of. Like they've all gone off to pursue their own individual, you know, goals. And I just thought that was nice. Sometimes in your life, people you really care about, you do kind of just go down different paths. That's a part of life. I thought that was really a cool way to do it, instead of just like, we'll always be together like the other two have ended. It's just was nice to go like, no, they've all grown and now they need to kind of find their own way. Yeah, and the Guardians will persist. The Guardians has always been a rotating team in the comics. So but no, I thought there was really great character work. And that was my favorite thing about it, is that you saw some really cathartic. Some of it went just a touch too far, but not enough for me to be like, oh, this sucks. Like there was a scene where Mantis had her big moment where she was talking about Drax and she was like, it doesn't matter that he's stupid because he loves us and he makes us laugh. And that to me was like, oh, this is, everybody sort of had their scene where it was like their final sort of cathartic moment of like, this was the point of this character for these three movies. And I thought that was like really a great scene for her. And then the next scene is like, I'm also going to make these wild beasts who've been bad for 2 movies suddenly just become misunderstood. I was like, okay, like we get it. You trust everyone. That's your thing. But Drax, excellent. Even
Chris Pratt.
Even Chris Pratt was really good. I have to say it.
When she mentioned the grandfather thing, I went, oh shit, right. I forgot that motherfucker existed. And obviously I remember, as soon as they say it, I'm like, well, foreshadowing, I know how movies work. He's going to end up there.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But it was very well done. It was like, oh, right. He does have emotional things he still has to work out. Like I thought that Gunn, I felt like he just found a really, like I said, cathartic way to help all of these people grow emotionally again, and to kind of wrap up their trilogy as a group together as the Guardians. How'd you feel about the first Marvel F-bomb?
I actually thought it was funny.
It got me too.
I knew what it was ahead of time, but out of context, I thought it was stupid. But like in the movie, it was really funny.
What I liked so much about it was that it was such an innocuous,
just totally nothing. It wasn't like the last line of the movie or something.
Right. Or like it wasn't during the big boss fight at the end. Yeah. He's telling her how to get into the car.
Get in the fucking car. Yeah, no, it was funny.
No, press the handle. What? Open the fucking door. Yeah, it got me so much that I hit rewind 10 seconds to watch it a second time.
That hallway scene was unbelievably incredible. That tracking shot. I know you're going to tell me there's some clever cuts in the middle there.
No, of them all working together. I got to tell you, it reminded me of some of the best parts of the game and why I liked it so much.
I am really excited to play it. I have to finish Final Fantasy 16. And what's the other one? Yakuza 6 before I take another. I promised myself, but that is my very next thing I'm going to do once I beat those 2. Or even one of them, I'll probably start Guardians of the Galaxy. Now I'm like more excited to play that. I really liked it a lot. I think James Gunn makes good movies. I actually watched 2 because Veronica had seen 1 years ago and she had like somewhat of an interest to watch 3. I didn't know that we were going to watch it last night, but this weekend I'm like, hey, we should watch 2. You've never seen it. And I'll say, like, I know in the past I've kind of dunked on that movie a little bit, and I liked it a little more this time than I have in the past. I will still say that out of the 3, that is the one that it feels like Disney had their hooks in James Gunn the most. Like, it has the most of the, like, sort of Disney smear over it. But it's still like I know that before I said that the Rocket Yondu stuff felt forced. And even some of the Yondu character work felt forced. And I didn't feel that way this time. Maybe I was just feeling cynical when I had watched it before. But I did like it better than on previous watches, which I think I've only seen it like 2 times. But so I came right off of 2 and literally the next day we watched 3, which made the scene of Kraglin, like seeing him off in the distance for like, again, he's not really a minor character, but you understand he's not a part of the core cast.
Right.
Even he even had his little moment where he like learns how to use his heart to, use the arrow. It was very good. What's the fucking dog's name? Veronica was in love with that dog. Every moment that she was Cosmo.
Yeah.
Everybody just had their moment.
Obviously, the character's there to be cute and funny.
Yeah.
But the whole bad dog thing was just very well served.
Yeah.
I think it was a good running joke.
Yeah.
No, yeah, the whole gist of that is literally the dog the Soviets set up in the Marvel universe. It didn't die. Like great story. It actually got, I think abducted by aliens or something. And so that dog is still out there, has telepathic abilities and is fucking awesome. Yeah, no, I thought they did a lot well with this film, and I don't know why I expected less from it. Like, it's not like I saw bad reviews or anything. I just didn't expect to really enjoy it as much as I did. I really, really had a great time with it. And
I think the red herring was like the raccoon. Why do I keep calling him that? The rocket backstory.
The raccoon.
The raccoon. The rocket backstory is all anybody is talking about. So in my head, I think I just built it up like that's going to be the thing that's really incredible about this movie. And it's not that it was bad. It's just that I just knew what was going to happen.
Right.
So all the other shit that was going on that I just assumed nobody gave a shit about because nobody was talking about it, then had its opportunity to like surprise me. I think that's why it works so well.
Nathan Fillion's whole role as a security guard, where he's like, I got one of
I've
those
got a
too.
dumb one too. Yeah, that
I've
was
got
really
a
good.
dumb one too. And he's like, I'm right here.
And the guy, he's like, this guy, he makes me proud all the time.
Yeah, really, you're doing a great job. No, it was
Holy
very
shit.
good. And
Adam Warlock
it's-
was totally underutilized though, wasn't he? Holy shit.
Yeah, and I remember us reading about, we saw like screenshots of the trailers beforehand and reading about how like, well, he's like underdeveloped. He's literally like he's like a superpowered being with the mind of a 6-year-old. And I thought they did that very well. He was not overtly malicious like ever. He was told to do a thing, he tried to do it, and he was confused when things didn't go the way he expected them to.
But if you took him out of the movie wouldn't change. He didn't need to be. I feel like they hinted him in like a post-credit scene or something, right? In one of the previous ones. I feel like that's the only reason he was in this movie.
I think it was the end of 2.
I think 2. Yeah.
Because they piss off the Sovereign in the beginning of 2, and so at the end of 2 they show the cocoon that he's in.
The cocoon.
So that was the cocoon.
Oh,
the cacophonous.
And Groot's "I love you guys" was very excellent. I'm like the whole movie, especially because in the trailer, if I remember correctly, he says "We are Groot." So like the whole time I'm like, he's gonna do the "We are Groot" thing to call back to 1. I'm like waiting for it, like anticipating it, and so like at that moment they're all like saying goodbye. I'm like, here it is, here it comes. And then he just goes, I love you guys. I was like, that was fucking awesome. I just didn't expect that at all. Nice. It was really sweet movie.
Also, while we're calling out things about Groot that we liked, the fact that, I watched the F-bomb scene again, and right before they get in the car, he hands Groot his pistols and he goes, you know what to do with these. And then so the reveal of him having them inside of him when they start fighting people, I thought was great. It was a good reminder that like these guys are fuck-offs. And a lot of people think of them as jokes, but like they can actually fight and they will fuck your shit up if you don't properly respect them. And I think that's always kind of how they've operated, was being underutilized or, not perceived as the threat that they are. I can't think of the fucking word. Anyway, that's it. We're done. We're leaving. Bye.
That's it. It's almost 10 o'clock, so we're done. Bye.